that they give away. So will be interesting to see. We'll take a look at the bracket here. Space Boys actually taking out Rolled earlier. Rolled is another team that I think has a similar style to Ascend, maybe a little more aggressive, but Rolled does play a very team-based game. They execute together, they retake together. There's no one player of Rolled that's getting, out ahead of themselves. So Space Boys has dealt with a team, that plays this play style before. We can see that. But Ascend, if I had to guess, having watched their last game against Grab Orb now, is a cut above actually Rolled, and that's really impressive. Rolled is a VSS champion, have won here before. Grab Orb now is a VSS champion. They won, so it's both Ascend and Space Boys taking out former champions to get here to the grand finals. So Space Boys of course has their work cut out for themselves if Ascend is going to play to the same level that they were playing last round.
Actually, I just realized we did see Space Boys.
Okay.
That was an upset on Rolled, and they beat them like 13-6.
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
I totally blanked on that because it happened so fast, and then it was just like an
I thought it
upset.
might have been the other Space Boys.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I remember they were explosive, and it was such a quick match, just like that last one, that we could be seeing either this is going to be played so slow because it's grands and there's money on the line, or they're going to be playing explosively as far as the side of the Space Boys.
Right.
And I say that only because of how explosive they were against Rolled.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I forgot that. I feel like it was
they definitely took advantage of that playstyle we see from Rolled, that methodical playstyle we're talking about. Space Boys was aggressive in their face, not letting them move around the map the way they wanted. So as we said before, if anybody can handle the monster that is Ascend, Space Boys have certainly already proven themselves earlier today. We will be getting started on Haven, the infamous 3-site map. Be interesting to see how I believe Space Boys are on defense first, so it'll be interesting to see how they set up here. Taking a quick look at the team comps, nothing too crazy. Both teams are sporting a Reyna, which usually it's one or the other on the Reyna. Both teams are opting for the Sage, so no one getting crazy with a double duelist or triple duelist or anything like that.
Yeah, along with the Brim and Cypher, but I like the Omen play here. You have tons of smoke.
Yeah, you're obscuring so much vision, which is so helpful on a map this big. Getting that coverage down. I think A site on Haven is actually one of the hardest sites in the game to retake as a defending team who's lost it. So will be interesting to see how Space Boys deal with that. They do have 3 over on the side of A right now. Reyna is pushing up that A short, getting a little aggressive. Tetra on the Reyna. Tetra already proven himself with a big KDA early today. Ren's watching his back faithfully. Nothing close or nothing happening yet. The opening shots will go out. Nobody taking too much damage until I Love Mina goes down A short, and now Ascend working with a 4v5 to start the match.
And I believe the Omen actually shot out from across the map to help with their vision on that one.
Right.
I saw that purple smoke go by. So kudos to him. Again, I mean, that's just great communication. So Space Boys showing already that they know how to play this map and cover each other.
So Ascend is making some noise towards C, but it is a 3v1. You have to wonder what the plan is here as they sneakily take over B, do force Space Boys off of that B site, so it does look like they will be able to get a plant here, but Space Boys are quickly pitching in. Will take out Tetra, but it is still a 3v4. Ren's pushing in, trying to get some damage, while FGB is absolutely opening Ascend up, getting the quick double kill. Now Freshie, the lone man standing for Ascend, all to do on his shoulders, trying to get some damage, and an absolutely spectacular headshot on Ren's, but it simply isn't enough. Buds will close out the round as the defuse comes in for Space Boys, 1-0 over Ascend.
And as we saw in the previous round, when you plant at the front of B and you're outside of it, I mean, it's so easy to just block you off.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he was the last man standing, and he was just put in a poor position there by himself. But yeah, I wonder if teams are going to start adjusting their spike plants and maybe playing off a different angle, like maybe to the left and then just branch out towards C site, or to the right and branch out towards A.
The options aren't great because if you plant front, you do risk that retake getting walled off. But if you plant in the back, you're just clumped into this corner that doesn't really give you too many options. So again, A and B, very tough sites to hold on this map here. So far, Spaceboy's already able to get the first kill of the match. I believe it was Buds with the first blood. Ren's here trying to find some damage through the smoke. Will is forced to back off, though I don't believe he's taken a hit quite yet. Harmful getting sneaky towards the mid. Zanz knows something is up. Can he win this speed battle? He cannot against either player. Proximo will safely take him out. Buds, meanwhile, might be able to avenge him, but the push is coming here for Ascend.
Ooh.
Oh, slow orb, narrowly missing direct contact. FGB, meanwhile, ever the reliable fragger so far, does back to B site as the bomb is actually dropped onto B site. This changes the map completely for Ascend as FGB is going absolutely nuts.
Yeah, those paranoia smokes are just coming in clutch. He's hit them just time after time, and it just is working out really well for him. And the more I see this, the more I feel like Omen is going to get played more later on since that buff came to the paranoia. And I mean, it's coming in huge. He's 5-0.
Yeah. We've already seen a little bit more Omen since the changes, but I think he's really, as a character, starting to find his niche in the competitive scene. I think especially on this big map, his smoke availability, being on the cooldown rather than having to buy is so useful. You can pop that early smoke without too much worry. Tetra winning the op duel A long. Absolutely nutty. Freshie does get revenge onto Buds. Tetra, though, still holding down that A site. Zanz looking for the rotate here. They do spot out some information on Ascend, so they do have some idea of what's going on here. And they will try again with this A site, try not to get spotted out. Spaceboys are quite spread out across the map, so if Ascend want to take a site, now is the time.
And there's all these traps. And that's the best part about Cypher is, the intel and the standalone ability to hold a site.
Absolutely.
But it is a site, so if they burst onto here and they get it, it's going to be really hard, to retake.
Zan's going to be put to the test here as the members from Ascend do spill on the map. Backup is coming for Spaceboys. Won't be able to deny the plant, but the rotate is coming out. Zanz will finally go down to I Love Mina, who has picked up the op. Tetra, though, with the response of an op of his own. Freshie and Will combined for a combined 2 kills on Renz and FGB. Now it is just Tetra alone, and he's going to have to run on out of here. Ascend on the board.
Yeah, beautifully played from Ascend, and like I said, if they burst through, and we talked about this earlier, A site is just really hard to retake. Yeah. And I'm not sure if throwing 2 people over at B site was the correct move, being that one is one of the easier sites to overtake.
Yeah, definitely. For retaking, I would say B is heavily favored towards the CT, and A is not. A is really difficult as you really only have 2 narrow hallways to come through unless you are able to get a full flank around, which really takes like 30 seconds, a minute even of forethought, to get working. So Ascend there, a nicely played round onto A site, not too much to be afraid of there. They will even up the economy here as Spaceboys are going to buy all out, getting the op onto Tetra. He's already been so deadly with that today. Can certainly understand their motivation, but if Spaceboys drop this round, they risk Ascend running away with a few more rounds.
Absolutely.
Tetra so aggressive. He will lose this particular duel to Harmful as Will wins a duel of his own onto Zanz, an immediate 5v3 for Ascend.
Yeah, the peek out from the garage did not work that time, as we saw last map.
Ren's the lone man standing on A, isn't able to get the spray down, though he's so quick. Does get the double kill, almost a triple. Freshie finally snuffs him out. Ascend do get knocked down to a 2v3. which is a stark contrast to how they started this round, but it is still up to FGB to try and do something, and I don't think there's much he can do on A site. Yeah, it's just not favorable.
With $100 left in the bank right now.
I think I'll just hold on to this gun. Thank you very much. So yeah, nothing doing here for Space Boys. The A site so far certainly the site of choice for Ascend, the only site they've been able to make it work on thus far this half. Ascend now looking comfortably and economically. Space Boys will be forced to the very most onto a half buy this round. Buds will be able to carry the op through, so they will want to buy something to support him. But this next round will be really tough for Space Boys if they want to keep close with Ascend. 2 ops, 1 op on either side, saved from the prior round, seeing where they go. Tetra did start out the game quite strongly, but has since been silenced. And now we see the Bulldog coming out for him. Not enough money to put together anything else. Renz, meanwhile, still considering, does opt for the Bulldog as well. Zanz is left to a Ghost, not able to pick up too many kills thus far in the round. And meanwhile, Space Boys are, on, or excuse, Ascend are onto a full buy.
The extra height.
It's pretty gutsy, though it does give him vision over any of the smokes that may be coming out from this Bryn Omen combo. Unfortunately, doesn't pick the lane quite rightly this time. That wall will fade away before he's able to find a pick. Ascend not giving anything away here. This is the slow, methodical play we were talking about. Space Boys may have to respond with some aggression here if they want to find a dent in this armor. Proximals out, Recon trying to scout out some members of Space Boy, is not able to find anybody. Renz, meanwhile, opening fire mid, doesn't catch out anybody quite yet, but Ascend are starting to have to make a move as the time is below a minute. They will have to pick a site here soon. Still 5v5, not a single death yet this round.
I have dropped the spike.
And it looks like they may be making a play for C.
Buds has this lockdown, so they're going to have to do something clever, but they almost just line up for him to give him the double kill. He does take out Proximal. Now 30 seconds is all that's left for Ascend. They still may have to commit to this A play. A nice orbital will push Space Boys off of the site here, but they are flooding in at the same time. Buds gets a second kill. Will get a response. FGB with a double kill of his own. This is just slaughter for Space Boys this round.
FGB, like I said, just when you take out the sight of the enemy team, and it's not like, you know, the flash where you could potentially harm yourself and your other teammates with it.
Exactly.
It's way more controlled, and you can just really just run in on them. You know, it lasts almost 2 seconds, and it gives you the time. And FGB just playing Omen just amazingly.
Yeah, to the full capabilities of this character so far. Ascend now are the teams that is the team that needs to make a response. Buds now switching up the side of the map he's on and will be rewarded handsomely with a double kill. Harmful will take him out with an op of his own, but not before losing 2 team members. Space Boys with a firm grasp on the A site. Ascend is going to have to look otherwise.
And the res did come through, so we're making it back to a 4v4.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. The healer is down for Space Boys now, so Ascend do have the advantage on that end, though Space Boys is left with their Reyna. If Tetra decides to frag out, he will be well protected. And now Ascend looking to play this A execute, not forcing it quite just yet, and here comes the push. Tetra getting some damage down before getting a kill. Oh, what a gutsy move. Harmful does punish him for it. Proximal picks up Renz on the backside, and now just 2 members left of Space Boys here to try to retake A, though this is a much more doable situation than we've seen some of the retakes they had to make on the site. Zanz does get the spot out A long, not able to capitalize quite yet, and Harmful actually makes him pay for it. What an excellent shot from Harmful. Harmful really going under the radar here to carry Ascend. Really excellent stuff from himself and Proximal to even it up 3-3.
This is so back and forth, and I feel like some of the rounds, you know, Space Boys, they walked away with still people alive, you know, after the plant. They didn't rush in and do anything crazy. But if you look at this economy, it's still pretty low on both sides.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone is just always on the I have to win this next round feeling.
Exactly.
It's you know, it's 3-3 going into round 7 and nobody's rich.
Yeah. Space Boys are getting mightily aggressive over towards A. Harmful will get traded out for by Buds for FGB. So both oppers there making some noise towards C, but Ascend now going towards this mid lane. Buds will bring out the res to give Space Boys an advantage, but meanwhile the B site is completely Ascend territory. Renz brings out the orbital to try to delay the plant, but he will trade his life for it. And meanwhile, all three members of Ascend getting their own frags. They will take this A site now, deciding against the B plant. I definitely agree with that. And now it is the lone member of Buds. Should we just call him one Bud now? Bud singular.
Bud.
Buds will try to get a cheeky exit frag here, but not much else he can do there. Ascend will be going up 4-3 at the end of this round. And yeah, like you said, this has been so back and forth. Oh, not able to get the second. Does well enough to get the first, but that op is going down. And now Ascend do take the lead, as I think this is the already second lead change we've seen tonight.
Yeah, it's been going back and forth, but now Space Boys left to go with just pistols.
Yeah, this is going to have to be an actual save. No bulldogs or anything like that. Not a chance to, you know, try to edge out a cheeky round. They do have to buckle down and say, all right, we just got to put some money in the bank. So Tetra now will be peeking over towards A. There are two members of Ascend that are ready to greet him. Backs away, thinks better of it. Harmful is watching that corner with the op. And now Ascend definitely have the upper hand here. The map is their playground. If they choose, they can go wherever. Buds is going to try to get a cheeky kill here mid, not able to do so, and this completely opens up the map even more for Ascend. They know they have an advantage over towards this B side, BC side, so they will force Space Boys to pull off of A. Ren's trying to find some vision. Yeah, he's going to run into the barrel of Harmful here if he isn't careful. But Harmful decides to back away, will move with the team, keeping his eyes towards mid. Space Boys are responding to this C push, but it is the lone man of Ren's to take them all down.
With the Sheriff. It's really hard to take out a lot of people with a sheriff.
A Molotov certainly helps, but not when you're standing in a Molotov of your own. Proximal will get a double kill as Renz burns. Now FGB trying to get, does upgrade at least his pistol, but not too much Space Boys can do here other than run into the meat grinder. FGB going to pop the ult and stand still and get taken out by Harmful. Not sure what he was trying to do there. Zans will go down as well.
I think he was just procking the sound cue for the teleport just to get him to think somewhere else, or think he's coming from
definitely
somewhere else,
a big brain play.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? There's two of you.
You have to be creative in those scenarios. Definitely can respect that. And so meanwhile, you do have the top fraggers on the server on the side of Space Boys, but it is Ascend that have pulled away with this 2-round lead, matching the biggest lead of the match so far.
Yeah, but I mean, Space Boys now full buyout. Feeling a lot better about this hold.
Still, the entire economy practically on the line when you buy out in a round like this, so they're going to have to make something happen, and make something happen does Tetra, so he will get a kill. Renz will go down for it. Harmful has been so effective on that op. I can't think of a round where he's had that in his hands and has failed to get a kill. Zans is getting so cheeky, but he's not looking the right way. It doesn't matter. Picks up the double kill. Something for me to learn there. I did not think that would work, but his reaction times made it work. And now Ascend completely splintered. 3 members down. Space Boys have to feel very comfortable despite how spread out they are.
Yeah, and that's very tricky. I think he was looking in towards the boxes to hide the barrel of his gun from
Yeah.
poking out.
Oh, genius.
So when you have that flick ability, it just...
Yeah, trust it. You just got to trust it. So yeah, really, really smart stuff with the response from Space Boys. FGB will take out Harmful as well. Harmful has been ever reliable thus far, so not anything to shake a stick at for FGB. Really got to be happy with that. Buds does get an op into his hands. Harmful still okay on money, still able to get another op, but now things are so much more comfortable for Space Boys, whereas last round, if they lost it, it might have been back to Sheriffs.
Yeah, we got 4 ultimates ready on the side of Ascend.
Oh, wow.
Ready to go.
So let's see how they choose to use these ults, if they want to go for a full-out explosive push, or if they choose to sit on them, let the guns do the talking. Harmful edging towards C long here. Not going to spot anybody quite yet. FGB still laying in wait, though Space Boys are starting to realize this may not be over towards the A side. Send over a reinforcement, will lay down the smoke here, and Ascend now are going to back off and try to find an edge in elsewhere.
Yeah, not rushing in, still playing that methodical route and just not getting too antsy here. That's going to give him a safe passage out.
Yeah.
Give himself a safe way out.
He has to get out of there, but Ascend mow down the wall as quickly as it comes up, so it looks like it will be an A execute from Ascend here if they decide to start popping utility. Under a minute left, so they're going to have to start making some decisions here soon, but they've backed off actually and are reconsidering their choices.
I think they maybe thought that Space Boys did a rotation possibly, but there were still 2 members waiting at B, but Harmful just took Buds right out the picture.
Harmful has been so good this far, rarely missing, and now Ascend with less than 30 seconds left do make the choice to go to A. Those Space Boys are here to respond. Tetra not able to do anything about it. Renz picks up for him with a double kill, does get taken out himself. FGB and Zan's left here, but only 10 seconds left on the board if the plant comes down. Still, there it goes. So now Zan's not able to get anything started on Heaven. FGB, the lone man standing, gets gunned down for his trouble. Ascend again taking the lead to 2 rounds in the 10th round of this first match, the grand finals.
Yeah, and huge economy boost for Ascend. That res came through, so they were still able to keep their weapon, but 4 players remained after the end of that round, so taking lots of weapons on over to this one. So round 11, 1 more before the half, and it's 6-4. This is so close. I love this for grand finals.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not just a one-sided roll.
I was worried, but my worries have been put to rest. 4 ultimates on the side of Space Boys, so certainly expect some big fireworks here in this 11th round. Harmful looking for an edge in, but FGB knows better than to give that away. Meanwhile, Zanz is getting awfully aggressive mid lane, does have Renz for backup. Send not yet giving too much away. I can't believe how far Zanz is pushed up here. This is absolutely so much different from anything we've seen thus far in match 1. Tetra looking A short, won't be rewarded quite just yet, though. Descend are inching ever closer to that barrel.
They might just line up for it.
Oh no!
How is that not?
I am shocked by that.
Wow.
Freshie finishes off Tetra with the headshot. Tetra has to be shaking his head there as Ascend spill out onto A site. Renz is going to take up this Heaven position, but it'd be tough to imagine a world where he can do much with it. Space Boys do have 4 members alive on their side. I believe 3 ults to their disposal. Harmful will make it 3 and 2 left now with the Renz going down, and Space Boys have no one towards Heaven. They're going to have to back off and save for the upcoming penultimate round.
Deleted.
At least Zance will take one, you know? Possibly looking for another too, even though, you know, he wouldn't be able to defuse.
What if he did, though?
Oh my God, right?
Not able to get much done. I don't believe he had enough time for a defuse, even if he wanted one. Ascend safely getting away, as do the remaining members of Space Boys. Ascend with a 7-4 lead going into the last round of the half. As you said before, it was so back and forth, but Ascend seem to have gotten their feet under them and are starting to move with more momentum.
Yeah, and you see poor Tetra there, 1700. Still hasn't picked up a weapon just yet. Probably going to have somebody to pick him up a weapon there.
I need this.
I need this.
There's nothing more heartbreaking than seeing your teammates' money and pinging someone like, hey, I need a Vandal, and they all have like $6 grand and no one buys it for you. That happened to me the other day, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe the gall of some of my teammates to not drop me a Vandal. Yeah, so it's the 12th round. What are you saving for? Anyways,
Exactly.
Harmful once again peeking towards C-Long. FGB knows better than to give anything away there, so Harmful is going to have to find another spot to go fishing. Meanwhile, Ascend will bring out a large presence towards B mid, as Buds will wall off the garage, and they will quickly shoot that wall down. Buds forced to back off here. Will hold this tight angle, but Ascend not indulging him, trying to find some progress towards B site. Ren's the sole member of Space Boys there to defend. Let's see what he can do. Ascend not finding any edges in, and Renz will win the cheeky trade mid, but still Ascend will push forward, so he's going to have to back away, but he is rewarded thusly as Buds falls up with a kill of his own. Renz sitting on 2. Believe will open up the orbital orbital strike, delaying the plant here. Harmful trying to peek in, and it looks like this will actually be a rotate from Ascend, but they could get caught out by Buds. Buds gets the first, is not able to get the second. Harmful with such a sick wallbang. He's been so deadly on the op. I can't even put words in my mouth to describe it. Will get the res on Proximal. I was gonna say, I don't know if that's the best idea. Renz picks up 2 more for his 4K on the last round of the half. Space Boys crawling ever closer, eliminating the 3-round lead to just 2 as we go into the second half.
Yeah, I mean, it's use it goes away next round anyway.
Yeah, just pop it. But
probably should have cleared first a little.
Surely there's a dead body. I mean, I didn't look, to be fair, I didn't look where the X's were before that res came out. So I can't say too much, but surely, like, there's got to be a safer body somewhere.
Yeah, or a res before the plant, maybe on the way,
something,
like while you're running.
I won't, I'm not going to backseat game too much, Definitely, I think if any of these guys wanted to take me 1v1 on a server, I would not be coming out with my pride. So, Space Boys on the attacking side here, see if they can carry that same aggression into the attacking side. They have been playing well, just Ascend has had a leg up on them when it comes to these quick gunfights. So now it looks like Ascend will push that C long side, not going to find anybody sneaking out there as the 2 ciphers inch closer together here. Space Boys thinking better of the A push. Will just secure an all orb. Meanwhile, Will opens up the action over towards C on Buds. And so now you have to imagine that C is looking entirely unattractive for Space Boys, but still they will make the slow walk over to that side, maybe trying to play a little bit of mind games here with Ascend.
Like, oh, you think I won't?
Yeah. Just because I have to step over my friend's body doesn't mean I won't go.
But that was some good intel from Harmful to just peek right out and see all those members.
Great patience for Harmful. See what he can get done there. Almost wins out over Zanz. Will get the revenge before getting taken out by Renz. It is now a 3v3, but Proximal, absolutely nutty game sense to get him through the smoke. And what an expert shock dart to get the double. I Love Mino will wrap it up on FGB, but you gotta hand the round to Proximal.
Yeah, that was huge. I mean, through the smoke and then getting the shock dart.
He knew exactly where he was on site, and he's like, well, all right, the corner of the box is here, and they'll be running around here, and that's where I'm going to open up. So really smart stuff from Proximal, really expertly placed shock dart, and now it looks like Space Boys are in a tough position here. Ascend risk running away with this map. Picking up the SMGs, still a 1 ghost on the side of Space Boys there. Or excuse me, on Ascend. Freshie backing away from the B site, not committing too much, but Space Boys may just try to overwhelm them here with sheer force. They're going to smoke out the entrances here as they spill onto the site. Will is forced to back off as Tetra makes his way in. Ascend will have to regroup here if they want to find a path into this B site, as Space Boys are quite bunched up, starting to find some early damage here. They do get the first 2 kills. Tetra does get a kill before getting taken out. Harmful gets a kill of his own, and now just 2 members left. Make that none members left of Space Boys. Ascend with a absolutely clinical defense round.
Yeah, and you know, Bump and I were talking about this earlier. This is such a hard site to defend once you've planted. And you really have to push out and win those battles on the left and the right of the site.
I mean, it's exactly what we said at the beginning of the game. Like, you have your 2 options. Like, you can either just, like, you can plant front and straight up just, like, leave the site, or you can plant back and kind of, you know, sit in the site. And really, I think Space Boys did the right thing by sitting back in the site. You want more guns together when you're on the pistols.
Yeah.
You know, you want
power
more
numbers.
Yeah, you want more chance of a crossfire there. It just didn't pan out the way they would have liked it to. Ascend with the largest lead thus far of the 11th grand finals of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. Ascend kind of mixing up their strategy here, sending 2 more members super aggro A long, getting nothing for it either. I don't know what to say about that one. Space Boys are going to make a quick A take, forcing the retake and rotate from Ascend, knowing how hard this can be. This might be the right choice for them. They still aren't able to get the spike down. Proximal gets traded out for FGB. Freshie, meanwhile, takes out his killer in Tetra before getting taken out himself. Now it is just 3v1. Harmful, the lone hero with the op, probably just going to have to save on this one, though he is magic.
Yeah, I mean, this is the 3rd round into the 2nd half. You don't have money all like that.
Yeah.
Definitely save the operator.
There's no reason to, you know, risk throwing that away. And, you know, if Space Boys are going to get around here, nothing you can do about that. Just, you know, save the op.
Yeah, and you see the fast rotate from the brim just looking for him.
Hunting.
Like,
where is this guy?
I want the operator from him, please.
Well, he's running out of time to make his way towards the defender's spawn if he does want that op, and Harmful is up to his tricks. Yeah, Harmful's like, how long has it been? Yeah, they're probably flanking me. Let me take a quick peek over here. Picks up the exit frag for his trouble, though Space Boys do shrink that lead of Ascend down to 3 rounds, putting themselves within striking position of evening it up. But again, the money isn't as nice as they would like it to be. Only a little bit left in the bank of Buds and Rens, so you have to imagine if they drop this round, it will be Buds and Rens shelling out to keep the team afloat.
Most definitely.
Will being much more aggro here mid than we usually see. We'll see the response from Space Boys. Oh, I Love Mina does get cut out and then eventually traded out by Freshie. They will back off this B site, not wanting to take a straight on fight. And meanwhile, Space Boys will look to take advantage here and try to catch them off guard at C, but I don't think it's coming fast enough. They don't know that that C site's open for them.
Yeah, everyone just kind of left C site, but Harmful with the operator.
Oh man, I wouldn't go to C.
Jeez.
And a rare miss from Harmful gets punished by Rens. Tetra will get taken out by Will, a 3v3 here, and the bomb will go down on the side of Space Boys. FGB with the plant. Freshie does take out Zan, so now a 3v2 favoring Ascend, but they do have to retake the site as time dwindles down.
Yeah, that was unfortunate timing for Zans to peek behind the box there. All highlighted nice and red with the Empress popped.
So Ren's here playing stalwart. FGB backs him up, but it's not enough as Freshie will take him out. FGB gets caught out with a teleport. Freshie with a 4K, the savior of Ascend in the 17th round. What a sick play.
Wow, and he almost got away with that teleport. He was just on just a little bit, you know, on that wall. And
so we were talking about the Omen smokes, you know, as Omen finds his niche in competitive play, they are so effective, but because Omen hasn't been picked as often as, you know, the Rays, as the Brimstone. I don't think players are really as experienced with that teleport. I've seen, you know, not just from FGB, I've seen from a lot of Omen players, you know, kind of misusing that, kind of giving themselves away a bit with the sound cue. So I'm sure that'll polish up as Omen finds himself in the meta, but definitely something that, you know, you have to wonder if it was a different ult, might it have been more effective? Granted, you don't get the utility from the smoke. So Harmful is once again guarding the C site with his life, though he is much more aggressively angled this time around. Meanwhile, Zan's getting so crazy up towards B, and Tetra and Buds do some scouting to say, hey man, it's dangerous. It doesn't matter. Renz is going to go for it anyways, get a double kill for himself as well.
Unfortunately, FGB is not moving until
he's
just
back.
now.
He's back. He's back. Maybe a cat on the keyboard, you know, it simply happens. You know, we've all been there. If we have a cat, which I don't, FGB, the lone man standing for Space Boys, will get taken out mid. Ascend extend their lead to 5 rounds now, 1 round away from match point. Excuse me, game point.
Game point.
You know, you got to transition the brain from best of 1 to best of 3.
Yeah, it's the only one that's best of 3. We made it.
Exactly, yeah. And that, I mean, I'm sure it's been harped on before, but this best of 3 is one of the more daunting best of 3s in the world because you haven't been playing best of 3s, and it's a completely different strategy than best of 1. Best of 1, you know, it's so much more I don't want to say conservative, but, you know, things are much more on the line. You know, it's win this or this is it.
Yeah.
Whereas you have a little more room to be creative. Though I doubt either of these teams want to go a full 3 games. You know, they just want to get that quick 2-0 and get out, and who can blame them for that? Space Boys, once again, I was going to say not committing too much, but we actually look over at Garage. They've completely taken this area over. No eyes from Ascend to stop them as well. So Space Boys with a nice little foothold in the map to see where they want to pivot off of. They could really go anywhere. They have left the bomb behind, but they are still gathering some intelligence. Harmful kind of up to their tricks, but I don't know if he knows exactly where they're at. Doesn't look like he's lined his crosshairs specifically, but it's so close. Harmful not able to close it out. I have to say, he's been slipping a little bit the last few rounds, as Buds will punish him for it with a double kill. And now C-Site is Space Boys territory. And I think Ascend are just going to choose not to contend this one. Use one of their freebie rounds that they have stored up here with this 4-round lead. Just looking to get some extra money in the bank.
Yeah, Harmful taking his eyes off of Garage for that 1 second, let Bud slip over to the other side, and then creep down that wall. It's very unfortunate. But Space Boys putting a much needed point on the board with all 5 members surviving as well. So this really helps their economy as well.
Huge. Definitely helps them get a foothold to continue shrinking the lead of Ascend here. Ascend do have the A site if any Space Boys members want to mosey on over, but they think better of it this time. It is 11-7. Ascend with the lead here, but Space Boys getting a little more traction under their feet.
And leaving the spike behind.
Yeah, who needs it?
Yeah, you know.
We've got guns.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
That's how I feel about like certain abilities in the game. Like at this point, just use your gun, you know?
Yeah.
I actually feel that way about like all of Jet's abilities. The dash is pretty cool, I'll give you that.
Yeah, hers are more escape tools, it does feel like, rather than fragging tools.
I mean, we saw so many times early on in the VSS, Jets would just go absolutely nutter butters with like getting a first kill and then dashing forward. And they would always find themselves in the middle of 4 members of the opposing team caught with their gun behind their back. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. But we actually saw it happen so many many times I started wondering if that's the way the character is meant to be played. I Love Mina does get the intelligence over onto A site, forcing Space Boys to back off there. But yeah, until I saw the Jet hit and runs with the op, and I was like, oh, okay, like that's how it's supposed to work. I was wondering about my own insanity having seen those plays. Space Boys creeping on over to C site, and this would be the time to do it. No op in the hands of Harmful. He's just got to stick it out with this Phantom here. Oh, gets good opening damage, but they know where he is now, and the ults are going to start raining down. Tetra, meanwhile, does get the kill onto Harmful. FGB goes down as well towards Garage. So Freshy, I was going to say, had a foot in the site until he was sniped down by Buds. Buds picking up more and more momentum in this match as Will goes down as well. Just one member standing for Ascend in the form of I Love Mina, going to have to run away and save the cool Tron Vandal for the next round.
Yeah, and Space Boys, again, all 5 members alive.
Yeah, that's huge.
Gonna take this 8-11.
I almost was saying, all right, 4 members alive. But no, Zans saves the day, keeps the Flawless alive. And now it is just 3 rounds for the lead of Ascend, coming back from, I believe, a 5-round deficit.
Yeah.
So this is looking so nice for Space Boys, despite the deficit, as Ascend are knocked back down onto those pistols. No good money in the bank to pick up rifles or SMGs, but you have to imagine the next round after this, Ascend will come out firing. So Will looking for a cheeky pick mid. See if they'll give it to him. I don't think Space Boys are going to be too aggro here mid, but look at these guys from Ascend.
Yeah, power
all together.
numbers.
Harmful with the first opening kill onto Renz. An absolutely excellent shot. Here comes the push. Buds does get the kill. Buds gets the double kill as Tetra and FGB follow up as well. I think it was the right idea from Ascend, but it's not going to pan out quite this time. I Love Mina once again forced to run away. Didn't he have a Vandal last round?
I think he was taken out last. Okay, he picked up.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, that correct. Right at the end. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. With, taken out by Zan. So yes.
Picked up the Marshall. Does not want to lose that.
Yeah, that is the last little bit of dignity he has after that. So Zan's, with the effective post-round kill last round, is going to help Space Boys cut the lead down to 2, and now this is looking even more doable for them.
Yeah, this is huge for Space Boys. Not only that, you have momentum now going in towards the end of this first match.
It's so tough for Ascend too. This is often the hardest part of the match for any team, is when you actually have the lead and you're so close to like 11, 12, you know, you're so close, and then you just start dropping rounds, and the game feels like a wet noodle that's just slipping out of your hands and you can't grab onto it. Buds gets his 3rd kill of the round. You know, I was singing the praises of Harmful, but my goodness, has Buds stepped up in the latter half of this game. I'm so impressed. Harmful has largely been shut down, and he keeps going over to the C side. I think they know really not to give him too much of knowledge on the side of Space Boys. They know like that's where he's going to be. They're not going to, you know, give him a shoulder to shoot at. So I really think they do have to mix up the positioning of the op. Not going to do it this round. I may stand corrected, but no, it does look like Harmful and Proximal will hang out on this B-C side. Space Boys playing methodically this round, as are Ascend, not giving away any advantage quite yet. Ascend looking with a much more site-specific defense this time around, not really playing for a rotate on either side, just looking to be one and done with their site defenses. Will might be the first to make contact here. Oh, they're so close. He sees the barrel. Oh, Zans does get traded out, gives Will the double kill onto Tetra. Excellent defense. He will get taken out by FGB on the flank. An excellent flank from FGB as well. 3v3. This is Space Boys time here. They have A site, and A site is so hard to take. Ascend are setting themselves up here, but Space Boys have worked themselves into the corner of the site. Harmful trying to get something. He's so close.
It's the op battle of the sages.
I don't know how many more times he's going to be able to do that safely. Buds does get taken out, but he did make a dent before doing so. Now, just Harmful left. I don't think he can get this done without some sort of miracle, and I think he's going to have to just sit on the op. Space Boys cutting this, what was previously a 5-round lead for Ascend, cutting it down to 1 here, making it 10-11. Excellent stuff from Space Boys, keeping their heads in the game.
Yeah, it seems like Space Boys just, they have the attack down. And you know, with that methodical movement, you know, that it looks like maybe they're learning from Ascend because they're just as methodical as Ascend is. Yeah. And they're switching it up. And Buds, though, Buds in this second half, with an attack op for some reason, it's working and he's winning. And it's kind of insane. But now we have 2 operators on the side of Ascend to hold these quarterers. And
once again, Harmful going towards C-Site. He might actually get rewarded for it this time. They will smoke out long, though. Oh, he was so close to predicting it. And will prop himself up, but he's not going to be able to spot anyone out as Space Boys spill out onto the C-Site. Does get a kill as Tetra kills Proximal as well. Buds with an op kill of his own, but Harmful doubling up, almost triples up, but Buds wins this particular duel. Buds going absolutely insane. Will suck the soul from Zanz, getting into that garage area, but I don't foresee a retake happening here for Ascend. This would be so tricky. They do have the Cypher to give them the information. Okay, Space Boys have backed off to the C long. They will commit to that, but you can't ignore the Brimstone on the side of Space Boys. The Molly could come in here, but it doesn't matter if Buds
is just, will, you know, hop him down.
Yeah, Buds might just kill everybody. That's entirely a possibility. Buds will kill everyone, save one person with a 4K on the round, really gunning for the HyperX MVP of the match award.
Seriously.
I don't see anyone even close to him right now.
I mean, Buds is absolutely insane with this op.
Everywhere he goes.
Yeah, everywhere. And Harmful, he started off really well.
Yeah,
and
really strong.
Instead of using the wall for defense, he used it to get even higher ground to, you know, stay on that offensive. Yeah, it worked.
He got
until
2
Buds
kills.
Came around the corner.
Until Buds said, all right, stop killing my teammates, please.
Can you not?
So yeah, Buds has certainly asserted control of the game as we go to 11-11 here. Make a wish, chat. The team that wins this round goes on to game point. Tetra is just sneaking around, yet not doing anything too crazy here. Will is closer than he probably realizes, but not able to spot anybody out quite just yet. Tetra is pushing up through that smoke. Let's see if when it fades he wants to go through. He will back off for now. Neither team giving up too much here. Certainly understand it. Wanting to find a kill, wanting to find some vision before they make the decision. Meanwhile, look at this aggressive push C-Long from Ascend as Space Boys do spill out onto the B site. They will take this over, so it will be a forced oh, they don't have the spike. They don't have the spike quite yet. The time is not great. They will get the spike down, but it gives Ascend a lot of opportunity to reform up here. They do have all 5 members alive, trying to get some spray through the smoke. Meanwhile, Space Boys backing off into mid, looking for some flanks around. Really smart play from Space Boys, not holding too much on the site. And here comes the orbital strike, and here comes Ascend looking to take it to game point. Freshie takes out Buds, but Zanz takes out Proximal. Will takes out FGP. Harmful getting himself back on the board, takes out Zanz. Is just 2v2 now. The second orbital strike coming out, and a res coming out into Proximal, and Will getting punished for it. So I don't think Ascend will be able to defuse here.
They're not
no
going
way.
to.
Space
Great
Boys
hold.
Can't believe it. Actually got the 2 bomb kills as well. You have to love it. Space Boys bring themselves from 11-6 down to make it 12-11 game point in game 1 of Grand Finals.
Yeah, this is huge. And Bud's positive 12 on the KDA right here. It just continuously being phenomenal for his team. But, I mean, you got to hand it to Renz, you know, holding out, not dying before you know, using the orbital strike, so keeping himself alive, knowing that, you know, it's B site, I have orbital, I can defend after the defuse. That was huge. And now Space Boys brought it back after being down 5. Now they're up 1.
With their backs to the wall. Harmful is so pushed up here with the judge really playing crazy. Oh, he's in such a tricky spot. Yeah, he's going to have to get on out of there. The range doesn't favor him as Space Boys clamber on to the C long. Going to meet an untimely demise as Harmful peeks around. He does get assassinated by Buds. Tetra getting traded out by Freshie. Buds picking up his 2nd kill of the round. Are we even surprised? It's a 3v3 now. Space Boys and Ascend looking to stop Space Boys from closing this one out, but Buds with the res and the kill with a 4K. Buds just winning the game single-handedly. I Love Mina with a valiant effort to retake, takes out Buds and Renz, but is not enough. Space Boys with an absolutely stunning comeback victory to take game 1 of Grand Finals.
That was insane. I mean, we already saw one crazy comeback earlier, and that was another. That was huge.
Yeah.
Buds turned it around in the second half. You know, I like to say I play better in the second half. He plays better in the second half.
And it's not like he was asleep at the wheel the first round. It's just he wasn't like top fragging the first half. So, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, but I mean, as soon as he got to be an attacking op, there was nothing anybody. It didn't matter what gun you had. It didn't matter what abilities you threw at him. Buds was just taking everyone out. So yeah, really, really impressive stuff.
I'm Sage. I got walls and slow orbs. I'm on attack now. I don't even have to use these abilities.
Yeah, I was trying to think of Buds placing a wall. Like, if Buds placed a wall, where did he put it? I don't think Buds placed a wall. If he did, I didn't care because he had already slaughtered the enemy team while he did it. So really excellent stuff from Buds. Bind will be map 2 for game 2. Space Boys with a chance to close it out, and you have to imagine they're feeling themselves after such a stunning comeback.
Yeah, and if you're sent, you're just kind of like, don't tilt, don't tilt, don't tilt. It's okay. This is the second game.
Deep breaths.
Deep breaths, best, you know, 2 out of 3.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, matches still going on. You know, it's still Grand Finals. You still got, you still got to win just as many games as you got to win last game. It's just you got less chances to do it.
Exactly.
That's all there is.
That's all.
That's all there is.
But
so
Bind, the balanced map. You know,
so they say.
Balanced.
Yeah, I've just taken to calling Bind 2 or Bind Dust 2 because it's the map that we always end up on. But I will think we'll see a little more aggression. I don't think either teams are going to resort to 5-man stacking and rushing. I don't really think that's how these teams play.
Yeah.
But I do think we'll have to see more teams making an aggro push into sites or an aggro push to retake, because it's not something where you can really push just off of the vision. You can't just get the Cypher camera up, spot them out.
This is where we're gonna see raises.
Oh yeah.
I'd be surprised if they don't both pull out a raise of their own, because this is the map.
The Omen's going away, I'd have to imagine. The Omen's not, I think it's so good on Haven because of how big Haven is, but I think the raise with Bind is a closer, like if you look at the width of the corridors, like if you're looking at how wide things are, Bind is a much more tight cornered map. Like you still have B long, right? You still have, corridors like A mid where you can, op and, get decent sight lines. But when you're looking at things like bathrooms, if you're looking at the corridors they have to walk through to get to B long, they have to walk through to get to.
And lamps is just.
Yeah, lamps. You might as well run in with a judge and a grenade and your best dreams. Like, so yeah, I think the Rays, especially with the rocket launcher alt, multi-kill possibility just goes up so much more. So
Yeah.
definitely expecting to see a raise on both sides. I would be interested to see a possible, I think, did we have a Sova in that match? I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was a Sova this last match.
Okay, so yeah, Sova will be coming into a lot more play onto Bind. Like his information gathering becomes so much more effective on Bind, because you can, again, it's the size of the corridors. Like you can literally, if you get the right angle on the right corridor, you've spotted their whole team, and it's like, all right, that's pretty good information to work off
Yeah.
of. So I think we'll see a Sova. I think we'll see Raze on both sides. I think we'll see Sova on both sides. Are Brimstones an inevitability?
Yeah, I feel like he is. There was one game today where there wasn't a Brimstone on either side, which kind of blew our mind, and we forgot to even like point it out because it was against a team that didn't have a Sage, and I was like, "Ooh, Sageless!" Like another one.
Which is weird.
But I mean, Raze's ability to destroy Sage walls on A site here is just pivotal.
Yeah.
I mean, especially on defense, because that's the classic play. You put up the wall, in the corner of A, but Raze just immediately destroys it.
Yeah, just shreds it. And I mean, if you thought the Sage Wall was important on B site on Haven, wait till you see A site on Bind. It is the default play to wall off A short to get that plant down. So yeah, definitely expecting double Sages, definitely expecting double Raises. Be interested to see double Sova as well, see if they trade out. Definitely expecting Ciphers on both sides, and definitely expecting Sages on both sides, of course, but I'm sure both teams have some surprises in store for us as we do get into our second map of the second game of Grand Finals here, the 11th iteration of the Valorant Sunday Showdown, Ascend versus Space Boys. Space Boys taking game one with a triumphant comeback, a 7-round in a row, I believe, just streak to win the game. So really, really impressive stuff from them. I'm sure they'll be looking to carry that momentum in to Bind with them as we get settled in here.
Absolutely. I just want to see these characters. I'm interested to see if maybe Will stays on Reyna.
Yeah. I don't think we see the Reyna maybe as much on Bind, but of course, who knows. One thing I was really excited to see earlier today was when we saw the double Phoenix picked up on this map. That was really, really cool.
Oh yeah, the Phoenix plays earlier with the teleporters. That was huge.
Yeah, ulting through the teleporter. Really, really cool mechanic there. So yeah, we do see the double Raises. We do see the double Ciphers. The differences coming in with the Sova on the side of Ascend. That was proximal last match. You're absolutely correct. Was on the Sova. Meanwhile, Space Boys sticking with the Breach. This time, FGB manning it instead of the Omen. Yeah, I think that's the right choice to make here.
The flashes on like long B or short A, they really come in clutch.
Rolling Thunder for retaking A is really nice. Rolling Thunder
even
for
B, because B is such a small
taking hookah. Yeah, it's really, really nice. Rolling Thunder practically covers all of B, which is really, really nice. So both teams coming towards a disagreement here. B long. Let's see who comes out on top. FGB and Buds making a statement, but Proximal with the double kill with the shock arrow will trade his life for it, but does make a sizable dent to Space Boys. B does belong to the Space Boys. Only 2 members left from Ascend to make it happen.
And I'm really surprised he pulled out the shock dart in the face.
Genius.
I mean, he literally just saw them.
Genius.
And gets a double with it.
Well, he knew that they were aiming at his other teammate to his right, so he's like, all right, I got a quick second to bounce one off the corner here, make it happen. Freshie will take out Zans, but blown up for his treble. It's just Will left to 1v2, but he might know where they're both at. Oh, so
Buds.
close to getting it done, but Buds had a Bud with him. Takes the 3K for round 1. Not really surprised there. The only surprise being that he didn't have an op.
Not yet.
Yeah, soon, TM.
Very, very soon.
SMGs coming out on the side of Space Boys, looking to continue to establish their dominance here. Couple shorties for Ascend, looking to play some tight corners here. 3 members of Ascend here to respond to this B long push once again, but the spike isn't with Space Boys. They haven't fully committed here, though 3 members are going to take this long march down the hallway.
Come face to face with the shorty.
Oh, Proximal getting some big damage down for it, but him and his friends will pay dearly for it. Freshie trying to make something happen on the other side of the map. Will does get a cheeky kill on the Tetra, but will go down to FGB. Just Freshie left standing. So not much he can do there with 3 members of Space Boys remaining, but Space Boys did leave the spike behind, so that will take them a little extra time to get caught up.
Yeah, Freshie, I mean, with the shorty, you know, hunting around corners, you're going to be spotted out. This is already just a difficult position to be in.
Yeah, he's just going to have to find somewhere comfortable and sit there. And hope someone walks in front of him.
Yeah, just look for those exit frags.
Or get a 1v3 retake with a shorty. I would really love to see that. Freshie, if you're feeling up for it, it's $200. Who cares? You know, I understand you only have 41 HP. I did see that. But think about what a hero you would be. I would post your Twitch clip onto Reddit. I don't think you can hear me. So,
no, well,
Freshie not playing the hero this time. Space Boys will go up 2-0. I believe this is actually a mirror of what happened in Game 1. Ascend did take the early lead there, and of course, eventually fumbled it away. So Space Boys obviously carrying some momentum and good feelings into into Game 2. That really is insta-death if you even touch that. I think he got like his knee or elbow in there and immediately just... What is the spike explosion made of? Antimatter?
Yeah, it's 999 damage. Like,
oh my gosh.
He said, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
Yeah, suddenly I'm rooting for the defenders a lot more here because they're going to stop that dangerous thing from blowing up, and that's probably for the best. Meanwhile, Buds once again resuming his role as top fragger on the server. Picks up a Phantom this time around. The rest of his team are sticking to the SMGs, so they will have a little weaker firepower here up against Ascend, but they've got more manpower as they make their way over to A. Only 2 members of Ascend there to greet them. If Space Boys make this happen fast enough, they could have an easy way in. Will gets the action started, but will get assassinated by Zans. 4v4, make that 4v3 as Zans picks up the double.
And Space Boys starting off on attack where they just showed such a strong showing
That's
on
true.
Haven. I mean, that could be their niche.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're reckless, but I think they do prefer being the ones who control the pace. And of course, that's easier to do on the attacking side as Zans picks up his 3rd kill of the round. May be going for more. Buds will finish off I Love Mina for the round. A crucial 3-0 lead for Space Boys. We always say the 3rd round, as iCarry said, the 3rd round is really the first real round of the game. Space Boys taking that round that we see so many leading teams drop, a really, really important first step for them to wrap up these grand finals.
Yeah, and Zans, round 4 has 8K in the bank.
That is a rich man.
Yeah, and that's after shopping. Like... That's phenomenal.
Yeah, he is comfortably sitting on an island in the Bahamas. Meanwhile, I Love Mina will spot out the Robo, but Tetra said, that was my Robo.
They couldn't kill it fast enough.
Oh my goodness. Tetra with an absolutely nutty 3K. I don't even know what to say about that one, other than that is expertly played Ray's plays.
Yeah, it raises utility. I love
Goofy.
it. I love it more
It's
and more
goofy.
when I see it. And, you know, it has such a great kit to her.
Oh, yeah.
Just definitely, in my opinion, the best duelist out right now.
You'd be hard pressed to argue against that. I mean, just if you think about in terms of pistol rounds and you look at each character's potential damage output in a pistol round, nobody comes close to to raise. Like having the grenade, having the satchel, like if you want a robo buddy, great, like have it. It's just so insane. So definitely taking advantage of it. There is Tetra Will trying to make some raise plays of his own. The smokes will go down, and he will make a play to start the round. Gets the quick kill onto FGB, will back away safely. Tetra letting the rocket fly, not finding anyone for that one. Buds will pick up Freshie, though, which is such an important kill. They will, looks like they'll be able to get the spike down as the defensive wall for the attacking side has gone up, but it may be their undoing as Will picks up his third kill of the round. Zans does take him out for the trouble, but I Love Mina is there to back him up. Two members of Ascend left, forcing the rotate from Space Boys as Renz is the lone member standing. Gets spotted out, but will be able to get the spike down, but the molly's not where he would have liked it. I think they're going to be able to get around this one. They just sidestep it. I don't think he'll be able to expect this push from the corridor. He certainly hears the footsteps coming around. Can he win? Oh, it's so tricky. Just giving them the slightest angle, trying to find those headshots, isn't able to. Ascend get themselves on the board, crawling back, making it 1-4.
Yeah, and that was unfortunate that Renz could not get out of the area. He had the orbital available, which would would have given him a lot more time, but unfortunately he could not move from that little cubby. But hey, Ascend putting point on the board.
Yeah, an important round to get, to be sure. You definitely don't want to go down 5-0. I can assure you of that. Buds is still maintaining a strong KDA here, though. Proximal is catching up to him. Harmful, though, not able to find any momentum into this match. He was so crucial to Ascend, taking those early rounds in the first half of the first match. Not able to find.
Now he's got an operator.
He does have an op, but I believe he had an op the third round as well, and wasn't able to make much happen with it. So hopefully will be able to get his aim back there. Meanwhile, Ascend look exceedingly comfortable on defense here on these sites, not looking to push anything, just waiting for Space Boys to come to them. Definitely what you want to force them to do will be the execute from Space Boys coming down onto the B site. No rotate quite yet from Ascend, but meanwhile, they haven't pushed quite yet, holding it back. And Will coming around the elbow. He may be able to make something happen here from this flank. If he doesn't get spotted out by Tetra, he will be forced away by the flash. Buds opens up the action but gets taken out as Zans takes out Proximal for revenge. Now it is a 4v2 for Space Boys. That went quickly. Ascend had a really sturdy defense set up, but Space Boys found the cracks to get in, and now they are well established on this B site as Spike goes down.
Yeah, and now Harmful is in a difficult position with his op. You know, he sat over at A, there was no action, and now he's forced into this 2v4 with this very expensive weapon.
Definitely do not envy being in Harmful's seat. He will get a kill on the Zans. That does make it so much easier. And he does get himself out of the back corridor, which is even more important. This could be such a sneaky defuse, but he's not able to do it. Tetra does take him out, but I do like the play, walling off Hookah, getting the smoke down for cover. I think that's really excellently played. Unfortunately, the timing not quite right for Ascend, and they will let Space Boys re-extend their lead to 4.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Buds lost the operator. I mean, he's still doing phenomenal. 7-3. Harmful lost the operator.
Yeah.
1-6. He does have res available now, but that was just so unfortunate. If you look at their economy, they're hurting once again. Back to pistols.
Yep.
So it was just.
At this point, they're going to have to find a win in one of these like save rounds if they really.
Yeah, they
wanna,
need a thrifty.
Yeah, because I mean, you can wait for full buys all day, but if you're giving away more rounds, like there's no point in doing it.
Yeah, but it just felt like an unfortunate pick to pick A site to hold the operator with an additional 2 people, and then
Not
having to
easy,
rotate.
yeah. Buds will take out Harmful once again. Harmful not able to get his feet under him as Space Boys take control of B site with only 3 members, but they've got 5 across the map. So it will be a clean 3v3 here onto the B site, but they're so close. I don't think they know. Buds so fast will get taken out by Freshie, but Freshie does get revenge exacted upon him. Proximal, meanwhile, taking the shorty kill on the FGB, going to have to run away because they are chasing him down for his crime.
But Space Boy is gonna go up 6-1.
The knife would have been about as effective as the shorty at that range, so it's might as well for Zans. Does get the closing frag, and now Space Boys with a dominant 5-round lead on the attacking side of Bind, looking to wrap up Game 2 of the Grand Finals here at the Valorant Sunday Showdown. They only need 7 more rounds to do it.
So this is crazy. I'm really interested to see what's going to happen after the side swap, especially on Bind. It is played so differently than Haven, but I mean, Ascend's going to have to at least get a couple more points in this first half if they can.
And look at this, Space Boy not giving. Space Boy's not giving anything to Harmful, not letting him get a cheeky pick like he would have liked to. That is how Harmful has established himself in previous games, as being the lone defender of a long corridor and taking people who march down it out. But FGB will get a kill before getting taken out. Renz backs him up as well, but gets absolutely sniped by Proximal. Buds will get the res onto Renz, so it is even back to a not even, but it is back to a 4v3. Make that a 4v2 as Zans gets a cheeky little snipe onto Proximal. I Love Mina will attempt to even it up onto Tetra, but he's got it all to do if he wants to defuse this spike.
Ooh,
Harmful with a res of his own. Sneaking out here, does have his entry fragger. He says, go ahead, you do it first. Sands takes out I Love Mina on the backside, so it's just these 2 guys. Make that just 1 guy in the form of Harmful gets taken out by Buds. Buds going absolutely nutty in that round, going absolutely nutty in these grand finals.
Yeah, and Harmful has to feel frustrated.
Yeah.
He had an op again, and they chose the opposite side. He got nothing out of it. They're not even splitting. Space Boys has just all collapsed onto one site, so they're not giving him any picks whatsoever.
Harmful, I am rooting for you so hard. I think you played excellently, you know, the first game. You know, it just got away from you, as it does sometimes, but man, he's got to get back in this game. He's just got to find, at this point, you almost want to tell him, like, stop picking up the op, like, get, you know, yourself a Phantom or something, spray someone down just to get some confidence back. Not able to do so with the frenzy over on Hookah. Tetra trying to take advantage of his disadvantaged state here, trying to catch the push out long, does so into FGB. Buds does eventually take him out for it, but not as bad as it could have been for Ascend. Just a 4v3. They are down 1 man. They are down in economy, so they have to stick together here. Tetra, ever reliable. Oh, what a satchel that could have been. And Ascend think better of it. Only 2 members remain here, and in come flying the handhelds. They are not letting them get out of this one alive. You can see the pinch from Zans is ever slowly creeping in. Freshie does take out Buds, an ever important kill, but he's not going to be able to take out Tetra, as Tetra gets the snipe onto Will, and Renz sprays down Freshie. Space Boys 8-1, a dominant performance in this second game of the Grand Finals.
Yeah, and this is where the mental capacity comes in. You've been playing for hours.
Yes.
And Grand Finals is just the test, because it is best of 3. It's not just the 1 game, and you have to keep up with everything. But Ascend may have just been feeling the tilt of, you know, dropping the ball the last match. Yeah,
I mean, this is definitely the reasoning for best of 3, because I think this is going to sound a little weird, but anybody can beat anybody in a best of 1. That's actually true. But in a best of 3 is when you see the true skill accelerate here as Space Boys lay down the slaughter onto Ascend. It's just proximal, it's just 33 HP, it's just an op in his hands, but he hears the teleporters coming at his back. They don't even care that he's not on A site. They could have safely planted A site. They said, nah, we're hunting this guy down. They're gonna make the death jump out of the B hookah window. Proximal will punish Zans for it before the wall goes up. We've long said that's the most dangerous job in the world, is pushing B window on bind, and Proximal showing us just that. I don't think he could clutch this out, barring for a miracle.
Yeah, and Harmful bought a op that round and was quickly taken out. That's the op he's holding.
My boy. I'm Harmful. If you're watching this VOD, man, I'm rooting for you so hard, but like, pick up, you know, a Phantom, maybe a Vandal. I love the Vandal, you know, it's a great gun. All my homies hate Phantom. But yeah, just the op's just not working for him. It worked so well for him game one round, or game one half one, you know. He was the deciding factor in the first half of game one, to be sure, but just not working out for him this time. It's almost a situation where you know, I love to pick up the op when I'm playing ranked. I think it's the gun I'm best on, but if I'm not feeling it, I gotta hand it off to somebody, because I'm just, you know, I'm wasting $4,500 every time I die.
Yeah, and like I said, unfortunately, Harmful, they picked it up again. I think they were in hookah when they died, so not the best place to be while holding an op.
But we've seen it work, you know.
Yeah, usually you peek out from it though. So yeah, I mean, just unfortunately, like I said, you got to feel very frustrated right now on the side of Ascend.
Yeah.
It's just.
And I mean, if you, Will spilling out into bathrooms with I Love Mina as backup. Meanwhile, Proximal takes out Buds. So
huge start for Ascend.
What a start for Ascend. I mean, just absolutely slaughtering Space Boys in the 11th round that this is. Just one member remaining, and it is just Tetra. So wow, a really, really excellent round from Ascend. Just might have been 11 rounds too late. Tetra here, ever sneaky. They don't really know where he is, so he does have that going for him. They are starting to wrap their way around the map, so the possibilities are dwindling. Oh, so quick is Tetra. I can't believe he's able to dodge that bullet Matrix style, and now he's got this site all to himself, though he doesn't quite know it yet. He may give Ascend the time to wrap around here. If he doesn't plant soon, the spike will go down safely, but the Wolves are encroaching in, and he doesn't know that back door is completely empty. You're gonna have to keep your back to it as all three members of Ascend come in from the same angle there, spilling out of the death window. Harmful wraps it up onto Tetra. A much needed round for Ascend as they drag themselves closer 2-9.
That was much needed, and look, Harmful picked up that operator. So
yes.
He didn't buy it he didn't have to buy it this time, so that's really nice.
Got some, you know, he's got a few kills, which can make all the difference confidence-wise. You know,
yes.
You just need to see the bullet hit, and then you're like, all right, I can do this. Yeah. You know, so definitely a big deal for him. But we are headed into the last round of the first half. Space Boys dominant thus far, shutting down Ascend. Ascend not able quite yet to mount the type of comeback that Space Boys had to put together last match.
Yeah, we almost have full ults available on both sides. Harmful just one away from his.
Expect some fireworks.
Yes.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
All the rockets.
Let's see how they shape this one up. Will is aggressive towards A short. Will back off after he doesn't spot much there. Freshie, almost gets the drop onto FGB. FGB too quick for that trick. Will going to push with the almost gets the double. I can't believe he didn't. FGB makes him pay. I love Mina going to have to make something happen, but Tetra says, oh, I've got one of those. Guns him down as Proximal lets the Hunter's Fury rain, snipes Renz, but Buds snipes Harmful as Tetra takes out Proximal, wins the round for Space Boys. A nearly flawless effort in the 12th round, getting into the second half here. Space Boys are 3 rounds away from securing the Lions' share of the $1,000 available this week here at the Valorant Sunday Showdown.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say it. I think Will was robbed on that rocket.
Yeah.
Heck
yeah.
I thought for sure that was going to be a double.
Man, if I shot that rocket and I didn't get him a single kill. Like if I get 1 kill, all right, you know, maybe I nicked the other guy, but didn't get a single kill. Did he? I mean, surely got damage on it. I didn't see.
Oh yeah, no, they were both almost dead. Like he put it directly, like almost right in between them. But wow,
you know, I deserve this. I deserve it because I've been sitting in the production room all day going, oh man, they need to nerf Raze, man. She's so strong, man. Meanwhile, our poor boy Will on the poor end of the ult. Meanwhile, action gets started as a quick push from Ascend onto A site happens, but Tetra will punish them. The spike is down, so Space Boys, excuse me, not the Spice Boys. Space Boys are forced to retake here. Ascend in a bit of an awkward position, no wall available, and Tetra gets the snipe and shows them how to save the wall, but Will with an excellent kill. Proximal does get grenaded out, and Will won't be able to stop the defuse, but what a performance from Will picking up the 3K. Buds will finally finish him off, and now it is just 2 rounds away from wrapping this thing up for Space Boys.
This is crazy. I mean,
what a turnaround.
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, it was so back and forth on Haven, and then Space Boy or Ascend run away with it. Space Boys come back and win it, and then now you see this just insane play from Space Boys. They must have rode that high from the last win.
That's
all
exactly
the way
what I
into
was going to
this.
say. Is from a layman's point of view, you have to just say that momentum has carried them through to this lead. Meanwhile, I love Mina getting trade out for FGB. Certainly an important frag on the side of Ascend as they push out onto the B site. There are members of Space Boys here to meet them, but there is one less as Buds gets taken out. Renz will get revenge onto Harmful as Zans gets Proximal. Freshie will trade out Renz, but now it is just a 2v2. The HP bars are hurting on the side of Ascend, so they're going to have to be aggressive here. Meanwhile, Space Boys have control of the spike. Oh, what a satchel from Tetra. Tries to make it 2. Just gets the assassination satchel. Zan's closing out the round. We are on match point here for Space Boys. Ascend with it all to do here in the 15th round. What do you think the betting odds are on a comeback right now? If Vegas was tracking this, what would they say? 100 to 1?
Oh, yeah.
150 to 1? 2,000 to 1? I mean, get your bets in now. Just kidding. Betting is bad. But Space Boys with an excellent opportunity here to wrap up the 11th iteration of the Valorant Sunday Showdown. Tetra here to greet Ascend on this A short here. So far, Ascend not revealing too much, but they have made it quite clear that A is the play. Harmful with an excellent kill onto Zans, who drops the op into bathroom, and this completely opens the door for Ascend as Will takes out Tetra with the ult as well. Now 5v3 for Ascend. If you're gonna start a comeback, this is how to do it. But FGB says not so fast as he takes out Will, spills out onto the site. What an excellent kill on the Freshie. He's looking for more. He's going to have to throw out the flash. Looks around, Renz pushing with the Sheriff, has a Marshall in the back pocket. FGB picks up his 3rd kill, but it won't be enough as I Love Mina picks up 2 on the back end. Ascend, the comeback starts here.
Yeah, all or nothing now. You can't drop a single round.
No
from
save
here
rounds.
on out.
You know, Space Boys I think gonna save here, or you know maybe half buy. Looks like Renz considering a shotgun buy, thinks better of it after all. But yeah, Space Boys with some rounds to play with here says, all right, you can have that one. You can take this bone.
But you never want that mentality. We've seen that hurt.
That's so true. Yeah.
So many teams where you start messing around because you think you're ahead, but
Yeah,
meanwhile,
you sit back.
Ascend is in lockdown mode. This is it. It's all or nothing. Oh, and look at this aggressive push from Space Boys.
Has to be done. You have to mix up the pace. You have to keep them on their toes. I Love Mina will take out Zan, so no one left on the B site for Space Boys. They're just going to push this hookah. I absolutely love it. Not able to get too much down there. Harmful will finish off Renz for the 3K. Harmful getting himself back into the game stat-wise. Now he's just got to do that for 8 more rounds.
Yeah, that
Easy.
might not be the person you want to give confidence to with an operator.
Yeah.
I mean, he had failed all of the first half of this match, and
now he's got some momentum.
Now he's got a little bit of momentum.
Now he's got a little more adrenaline. He's got a little more positive feeling on his side. Ever important, as we know. And now we look at Ascend stacking up for the A push, as only 2 members from Space Boys will be there to greet them if they do commit here. Harmful being confident with the op, has some kills under him to prove that he is worthy. So far, Space Boys not up to any of Ascend's tricks. They don't know where this is coming just yet, and Zans pays the price for it. He is the first to go down. Ascend will be able to spill onto the site here as Will starts launching the bombs. Will making his way. Yeah, Tetra's gonna get just taken out here. Nothing he could do there. FGB takes out Harmful, but gets traded out by Proximal. Just 2 members left alive from Space Boys, and this is going to have to be, once again, a time where they just back away with the guns they have and say, we live to fight another day.
Yeah, and just like that, another point is about to be put
Just
on
one
the board.
more. That's just one
Just
more.
one
We're
more,
not getting crazy.
Not-
We're not freaking
crazy.
out.
No.
But Space Boys, with every round that passes by, they become put into a more precarious position economics-wise. The banks are already empty.
Yeah.
That's why they're backing off of this. There's already not much left in the tank. So,
Which is very smart. They're taking it
They have to
seriously.
do
They're
that.
not like, hey, we have this
just rush
8-round,
2v5. Yeah, who cares?
lead. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely what's needed from Space Boys, but as someone who's watched a fair amount of VSSs, I have seen many a time a team get to 11, get to 12, ease off the gas, and all of a sudden we're in overtime just that quickly. So Space Boys have to be sure not to make the same mistake, but I certainly don't want to curse Ascend. They have to take it round by round. The ball is certainly in their court. They will look to mix it up with some B action here, as Will steal this alt orb away. Buds is so close, but he's going to get spotted out by the drone, so he's not going to be able to be as aggressive as he likes, as Ascend will start to forge their way through B long, but there's not too much they can do. You have to wonder if this is going to be a teleporter play over to A. They haven't yet forced the rotate out from Space Boys, only making a nominal amount of noise, though they are so committed to B site here. It's going to have to take some sort of play to get them onto this site comfortably. Smoke's going down, but look how close Space Boys are edged up to these corners. Renz is ready for this push.
Yeah, so they're wasting a lot of time here. So if they opt to not take that teleporter and rush into B, there is a rolling thunder that will be staring them in the face.
Budge just catching the elbow of Will there. Not much more else he could have seen. So Space Boys, for the first time in a few rounds, will get the opening kill here. The Rolling Thunder, or excuse me, not the Rolling Thunder, the knockup coming from Breach there, not finding anybody. And so, yeah, it looks like the spike will go over to this A side, but that doesn't really throw Space Boys for much of a loop here. They're ready for this. Meanwhile, Ascend will spill out to B site, spikeless. Will takes out Buds, Will takes out Renz, and now there's no one left on B site. Oh my goodness, Will is playing absolutely nutty here.
Wow, and just like that.
Wait, no time.
Oh.
No time.
He didn't
Oh
glance.
no! Space Boys take
Oh my
grand
God.
finals 2-0 over Ascend 13-5. in the second game. I'm almost at a loss for words here. For one of the first times in my life, we thought so sure that's a round going towards Ascend. We didn't even think, has the spike been planted yet?
There was so much action. Everyone forgot to look at the clock.
Well, congratulations to Space Boys being a team that this is their first entry into VSS. Taking the grand prize is so exceptional. Congratulations to them. I don't want to understate the accomplishments of Ascend either. Of course, again, this is their first time as well. They took out teams like Rolled, who are really established in this tournament.
Well, Space Boys took out Rolled earlier.
Correct.
That was that upset.
Correct. And Ascend took out Grab Orb now. Both former champions here of the VSS, taken out to make way for these two titans battling it out. Space Boys just with the smarter strategy there. As soon as you saw them start to run away, it was like, oh my God, wait, look at the clock, wait, look at the spike. And we often forget that sometimes all defense has to do to win is live.
It's waste time.
They don't have to get kills necessarily. They don't have to, defuse. So.
And this is not surprising.
Not whatsoever. The HyperX MVP of the match goes over to Buds. Congratulations, Buds. You are the winner of a HyperX Cloud Core Stinger headset. Will be sent directly to you, and a well-deserved MVP reward. We were comparing him often to Harmful on the side of Ascend, who is the opping sage on the other side of the map. But Buds just completely outperformed everyone. I mean, so reliable on the op, and it didn't matter where he went. He never got stuck into one site. He never was. It was never consistent. Like, okay, we know Buds is going to this site. It was always he's popping up somewhere different, and he's always getting a kill. So well-deserved MVP there. Congratulations, Buds. Congratulations, Space Boys, for your first ever Valorant Sunday Showdown championship. The lion's share of the $1,000 going towards them. Of course, Ascend, it wasn't all for naught. They will be receiving a hefty chunk of cash as well. So congratulations. Just want to say a big thank you to everyone for tuning in, for entering these tournaments. We do it all for you guys because we love you guys so much. My name's Dilly G. This is Sella Monster. We'll be sending you to a quick little video about what we like to do here at the Valorant Sunday Showdown. But that is it for us on the caster side. See you next week.
Bye.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, you already got sound test.
How's
We with King of the Hill.
Yep. It's a lovely day though.
He only needs one shot, and there goes the double back-to-back, and he get the third, and he clutch. Neferex with the 3K, clutching that out. Beautifully done.
Growing up, I was the only child, so I played a lot of video games. Played a lot of sports. Video games were kind of the same feel for me, where you're playing a game, when you win, you really enjoy it. I played a lot of competitive football games. I was always high, top 5 in those leaderboards. Video games were kind of how me and my friends hung out.
Well, my involvement with esports started at the grassroots level when I started my own organization, and I started hosting gaming meetups and tournaments back in 2016. Those gaming meetups consisted of a variety of games, mostly multiplayer, and then received a lot of input and demand for tournaments. So I transitioned over to the fighting game community along with the Super Smash Bros. Community. So that's how I really got my start into esports, by hosting my own events since 2016.
So we are here in round 10, almost done.
There's this whole new opportunity to grow a community in an age where esports is becoming, or is, the next big thing. And so in regards to Valorant and its future, I see a very bright one because of the support that Riot Games is continually pushing towards their community games and also to their esports scene. So within 2 years, I do expect a lot of growth, and also Valorant being that T1 esport within the industry.
The Valorant Sunday Showdown was created because we're really passionate about running tournaments. Game Arena has run over 300 events since we've opened in the last 2 years. League of Legends, Runeterra, TFT were all major games that we knew were amazing. So we knew Valorant was going to be just as awesome. So we wanted to be on top of that, creating a community for this game. There was a lot of people very interested in it, our players, ourselves. When I got that beta, me and my whole team played that game every single day. Every single night, I look forward to finishing up work, going home and playing Valorant with my friends.
We want to make sure that the event is accessible to everyone, which is why we hold our event for free. But we also want there to be a reward for participating in our tournaments because we do value our competitors who are essentially our community. So not only are we giving our community a valuable tournament series, but we're also holding our community to a high standard that falls in line with the guidelines for Valorant for community standards. And that is positivity, holding other members accountable, and also standing up for our community members. In gaming, we all come from a very diverse community. We come from diverse backgrounds, and we need to make sure that we are upholding our core values and making sure that our events, our community is inclusive and progressive, and making sure that we are holding everyone accountable for their actions. We have made our community better, and we have seen continuous growth each and every week with the Valorant Sunday Showdown.
Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you